Thank you, Crystal, for that. That was great. I never thought that I would be here doing this in Bonners Ferry. I think Sandpoint had their first Pride in 2021, and that was like the year after I came out. It was my first ever Pride. I wore this suit to Sandpoint's first ever Pride, my first ever Pride. Yeah, it was just, I never imagined that we would actually have a Pride in my own hometown where I grew up. I wrote my speech out because I am not good at doing things on the fly. Here we are. We are here. Sometimes it feels a little like survival, but we're still here. We've been here, and we will continue to be here. For just a second, I want to acknowledge the resistance we faced, the haters out there, right out there. When this event was announced, it felt like tensions exploded. We had horrible comments referring to this as a movement being brought in, imported to this town. I found a letter left at the door asking why we wanted to bring those people here. This is the stigma I want to break, the idea that we are other. We are not. We're all human. We are their sisters, brothers, siblings, parents, cousins, friends, and neighbors. We're already here. And I lost my place. And that's all we want, to be here fully. Pride is about removing the veil, the leper's bells. We're not the monsters in the closets, the boogeymen outside the windows. We shouldn't have to lie about who we are. We belong to the light, not the shadows. They've pretended we don't exist and ignored us, chased us back into the gloom when we tried to make ourselves known. There's nothing to be afraid of, not for them. We've been afraid though, haven't we? Afraid of ourselves for what they made us believe we are, afraid of them when their own fear hardened into violence, afraid that we would lose our friends and families, afraid we would always be the leper, the pariah, hiding on the outskirts. And we found each other there. Pride is community. It's holding each other up because no one else will. It's telling each other, you're not alone. And then we tell the world, we're here. We claim our place in the sunlight alongside them. They think we're trying to take a higher place than them. There are centuries of inequality still clinging like cobwebs, holding us back even as they push us down. But we found each other, and we're not so easy to push away now. Pride is love in the face of hate, love in the face of fear. We're their siblings, and they are ours. I grew up here in this town. It was a matrix of homophobia. I internalized so much of it that it took me until my early 20s to even come out to myself. How many of us grew up alone like that? Here and in every town across America, across the world. No one should have to grow up like that. They're afraid of change, but we are change, and we are already here. I would like to welcome you all here to Bonners Ferry's first Pride. We couldn't have done this without the wonderful volunteers who put this together. Bobby Wire Robertson, Alan Dozier, Jessica Tingley, without whom there would be no Pearl Theater to even host this. This place rides on her back, really. It would have closed years ago if not for Jessica. And that means so much to me because this was one of the first places where I was able to be myself and to express myself on stage here at Open Mic. And I met friends here that helped me when I was coming out, and I couldn't have done without them. Also, to everyone who donated money to put this on, the Boundary County Human Rights Task Force, Lani, who was the only person who was willing to put their name out there with the donation. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here to volunteer. Thank you everyone who is here to volunteer today and tomorrow. I want to thank Crystal Blue for being our guest of honor, and Matthew Danielson, our DJ. And all of the musicians, poets, and drag queens who will be performing tomorrow. And I especially want to thank each and every one of you that showed up tonight. Happy Pride and Free Palestine.